Really, Bones, you're going to complain that we're starting a minute late. All right. So I'm Big B, I'm Brick, and welcome to the Sellers stream. I have with me here Brick Willett, who's working on getting his mic working. Hopefully, if not, he's going to basically have a sore arm from holding his mic near his face the whole stream. So I'm Big B, I'm Brick, and welcome to the Sellers stream. I have with me here Brick Willett. I also hear me playing in the background. Let me check to make sure that's not me. Nope, not me. All right, off to a great start. That's definitely you with me. The video that you were watching before is playing. You have to pause it as well. Otherwise, it'll eventually create an echo. So what's going on to Twilight Sparkle Dash, the 20-year-old, he's an AFOL. Doesn't have to be an AFOL to watch it, but just so everybody knows he's an AFOL. Ralph's in the house. What's going on, Ralph? Mr. Bones Bricks, Brick Dudes is going up. Also, don't forget at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, there's also TMX is hosting the LEGO Community Saturday stream. Make sure you catch that. We will be ending prior to it. So, how you doing over there with that technical difficulty fix thing?
Does it sound better or worse?
Probably gonna have to hold it next to your face when you talk.
I want to try one more thing here quick.
All right, excellent. I can't hear a word. Well, Nick goes and figures all that out. We're gonna look to you guys and say as well, this is the good, the bad, and the uglies of BrickLink 2.0. What do you guys think of it? I know that a lot of people, as far as buyers, are quite upset with the look and the feel and how it's a little bit difficult to maneuver around there. But as a seller, what do and don't you like? What do you miss outside of some obvious changes to the way some metrics are running? What do you and don't you like? So reaching out to the community on that one. But me myself, I actually don't mind the new interfaces. They take getting used to, but it's at least it's forward, a little bit better than nothing. So go and check over here with Willett. Excellent. We heard something. Always a good sign. All right, so back over here. Ralph is saying what pains me when I update my wanted list, the way items show up if in a store, and I don't know if I've ordered already or not. Right, so it doesn't. It actually, there is a function when you buy. You can go up there and remove items from wanted list after you make a purchase. And I believe that there's also an icon in the buying area for items on your wanted list for that order, so that you can go and remove them then as well. Check that out. But this is the buying, not the buying, the selling stream. Buying was last night, I think. All right, let's hear it.
All right, any better or worse?
No, absolutely nothing. You're just a person sitting in the room, getting the free show. I can't hear anything. Hold it next to your mouth again.
Better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, I promise you, I'm not messing with you.
Okay.
Going on to a Lego Hobbit. Just stepped in, and Pumpkin as well. Used parts do sell, but most people have a they're either new part sellers or used part sellers, or new and some weird or rare used part. There's not usually both, so you have to sort of figure out. And the reason why we usually don't do both new and old in huge quantities is because there's mix-ups that you can have. And also you need to realize that when you sell new and used, and this is no reflection on anybody on YouTube, and please don't ever take it that way. Don't add drama where there's not drama. People often do the whole, well, is he getting used and just labeling it new because it looks so good because he or she sells both. And people think that stuff. So you've always got to sort of have that worst, people think, you know, you have to have that whole people think the worst thought when you're setting things up and when you're getting planned to sell things. Any input on that, Willett?
If you're ever going to try to sell used, really sit down, figure out what the parts are. When I first started trying to sell, I tried to sell used and I made quite a few mistakes. And that's why I went strictly to new. And because there's a lot to learn about used Lego.
Yeah. All right, I've got you cranked up in here. I got my volume now set at 100%.
Still not coming through good?
No, you and I can have a conversation now.
Okay.
If somebody else comes in the room, there's no way I can have them cranked up to 100% as well. But let me, you do some chatting here, and I'm gonna jack
next
up.
Next time I make sure I get a better mic for the next show.
Well, I also went in and just jacked up your volume.
Yeah, my volume's at 100% in here.
Well, no, I can turn you up to like 11 inside the room.
Okay.
I just did that, and then please, people at home, let us know. I'm trying to overcome technical difficulties. Clutch is in the room. I actually wanted to talk to Clutch because if Clutch heard what I said a minute ago, I wanted to make sure he wasn't included in there because Clutch is one of the used parts sellers, but also sells new parts that only sells used parts that are basically in the pristine category. You know, he does not sell anything even with even like a slight scratch or gouge in his used category, and he's known for that as well. So he's one of the few that are able to do that type of thing and not have a public judgment put upon him about that. We're talking about. Oh, hold on, I gotta drop my volume way the fuck down. Oops, sorry.
It's not after midnight.
Actually, what I'll also try to do is lower your volume and my volume. So people will have to turn up their volume to hear the whole thing, and maybe I can hear Will better. So I was saying that people normally will sell new parts, used parts, or new parts with the occasion of rare used, but not an overwhelming of the two. And the reason behind it is that mistakes can be made on your own part, but also that people think the worst thing possible in a lot of cases and make assumptions that if you have a used part that looks new, you may label it for new, which you should never do.
That's right.
Yeah, and you told me that in the beginning too.
So
you know, that you could do it, but this is the perception of, and you've got to overcome that perception.
So I would not recommend selling used parts if you don't have that much feedback. You need to establish yourself as someone who knows their way around the bricks before you can start selling used parts. And you got to make sure you clean them when you get them. It doesn't matter where they came from. They didn't come from a new box. So clean them, then list them.
I've definitely changed my policy on that, and I clean up my used stuff before it goes out. Just I sometimes had dust on some of my used plates. Didn't like it.
Yeah, we clean everything, and it's much better that way.
How do you clean it?
Washing machine. How do you clean it?
mesh bags in a washing machine.
Yeah.
Or if it's a base plate under tepid water with mild soap in a sink.
I've put base plates through the wash before. Nothing bad happened.
Yeah. I would be afraid they would
Through the
work.
through the washing machine or through a dishwasher then with the plates?
Washing machine and a dryer, like for laundry.
Okay.
I've never done a dryer for Lego.
Yep, there's bricks in the wash right now. They're probably almost done. I gotta put them in the dryer.
Man, crazy, crazy. But you having the facilities there, that really enables you to do it, because you probably have a special washing machine there.
Yeah, just for Lego.
I mean, like an industrial one,
No, it's regular.
regular. So, what do you think of let's hear your BrickLink spiel.
I just filmed a video. It's called Ask Clutch number 145.
Nice.
That
Is
is
this the return?
uploading right now. Um, it's all about making sure you have your featured items turned on and modified and active.
So it doesn't say this is your feature or these are your featured items under your featured items.
Click here
Which
to
is
change text.
Yeah, which is what the default text is that it shows to customers.
Yeah.
Did you
If
know
you don't
that, Willet?
change that, then the lights
No.
are on, but nobody's home.
Yeah, that's basically what it spells out to anybody. Even if you are at home and looking out the blinds wondering what's going on.
No, I'm a little new to the computers and that, so I've only been messing around with computers for about 4 years, so a lot of it's Greek to me trying to figure everything out. But it's just trial and error and keep going.
I've been
I just
putting
I used
like
to just put mine like on a big towels after I'd wash them, and then run
nobody's
fans
got
in different
time or
directions
space for
over them.
that.
Yeah, I know. But you guys are huge, man. You know, that's what I mean by you have at least the facilities to do that. It's got a warehouse.
That's true.
You're like the smallest big time seller I know.
Hey man, you're like the biggest small time seller I know.
There we go. Yeah. Gotta get that summer rivalry series going again, man.
That's right. I might actually have something in the works that could put me over 1,000,000 parts before you.
I'm like 55,000 away.
Yeah. It depends on how many I get, but I might actually acquire another BrickLink store for consignment sale. And the store is larger than yours right now. The one.
And
The
they're
one
going out of business.
no, they're not going out of business. They're just going out of um, running
BrickLink.
it themselves. They're going out of fulfillment.
Oh, so you're going to be. How are you going to manage that if somebody orders with split lot? Say somebody orders everything that you have in your store of X item, and half of the items are in one location at their consignment or fulfillment shop, and the other in your store.
You're overanalyzing it. Why would they be in two locations?
Ah, good. Because you said fulfillment, and to me that's like Amazon.
Yeah. They give
Yeah,
me their
like
stuff. I sell it. I sell it and ship it.
I see. I see. Sort of like the program that you have running for people that you know that are trying to sell completed sets. Like, is it Dave?
Yeah. Dave's the only one you see because he wants his name in the comments, not the remarks. That way he can search for himself too. It's a little bit ugly, but it works for him.
Right on, right on. These are good programs. These are good programs. What else you got planned?
Well, I've secured a way to sell off the bulk that I buy that I don't have any need for at the same price I bought it for. So I buy it, I wash it, I take out what I want, I sell whatever the local lug wants to them, and then I sell the rest off at the cost I bought it for. So I don't really lose anything.
Hmm. But this is all with the bulk used.
Yep. What BrickLink really needs to do right now is work on a better coupon system. Like
Yes.
not just coupons you issue, but like coupon codes. Like you can put out a code out there, and there's a field. Do you have a coupon code when you're checking out? Because they really did a good job of hiding the place where you can turn on a coupon that you might have in a store.
Yeah.
People look
Yeah.
really hard during the checkout process to actually find that. I'm finding a lot more people are being repeat customers, but not using the coupons they have because they didn't see the option.
I think it should be on by default.
That would be good.
Who's not going to want to use a coupon if you're, because we're only allowed to send you one, you know, because we try to, if you try to send multiple coupons for different things for different purposes, you can't.
Yeah.
Because I've tried.
But I would absolutely love a coupon code system where you set the parameters like here's the discount and here's when it starts and here's when it ends. So maybe when I do my weekend sales, I just turn it on like that and you either use the code or you don't. As opposed to right now where people will come in on like Monday or Tuesday and use the code and what am I going to do? Say, no, that was only for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Didn't you read?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be a
You're,
way they should set up with BrickLink is if you have a promotion or a code, you should be able to have that as a default when you go to check out rather than have to search for it or look for it.
Yeah.
right,
It's,
but we're an oddity. Those of us that are BrickLink sellers that are also on or have a presence in social media where we're actually publicizing ourselves, we're a rarity. We're an extreme rarity. So I highly doubt that a company that is established like BrickLink would do something like that because we have these little, online special thingies. But I would think that a semi-fledgling company like Brick Owl might be willing to implement items like that a little bit more quickly because of the publicity they may get with uh, basically just free publicity by us saying their name if we moved our stores over there or synced them over there. Thoughts, Clutch?
I'm not leaving BrickLink. Um,
I'm not
but
saying leave BrickLink. I'm not saying leave the mothership. But I mean, you've already got your tentacles out on eBay, and I say tentacles in a good way.
seller tentacles.
Yes.
No, I don't see a reason why BrickLink, the company that they are, wouldn't have a coupon code area. It's essentially the same. When I'm issuing a coupon, I could just I just knocked stuff over. When I'm issuing a
Heads up
coupon,
real quick to Hoosier Bricks. The Hoosier Bricks is actually a BrickLinker by the name BrickLink store Hoosier Bricks, who was led here by Mr. Bones Bricks, but I've actually purchased from Hoosier Bricks before. So we've actually got getting some leak over. Or other stores from BrickLink are just randomly finding us now.
good. But it should be the same principle. If I can send out a coupon to somebody, I should be able to send a code to BrickLink saying, here's a code and here's how long it's going to work, and it wouldn't be the comments field on the order. It'd be a new field for do you have a coupon code or an access code or something like that? Use it here. I think that would make everything easier because, I mean, how many stores actually use the coupon system? I feel like it's probably most of them that
Yeah.
have used the coupon system in some way.
I would also like them, and Ralph brought this up, that previous to the system, you used to have be able to have two coupons, and now you can only have one. Yeah. I actually would like people to be able to use 2 coupons at once. Like that was the purpose, being able to send people 2 coupons for 2 separate purposes and allow them to check out with both of them. You know, that would be a great easy way to do these whole, like the stackable discounts that you and I do,
Yeah.
or even the bonus discounts that I have through backing somebody on Patreon, or you backing somebody on Patreon and getting that gold team gold gift. So yeah, I mean, I would love for that functionality to be there. I really want that functionality to be there. It's supposed to be there already, but then Ryan left.
I don't know who Ryan is.
Ryan was one of the QAs who also did some, I think, development work, but he would take suggestions and ideas and run with them if he thought that, yeah, this is really good and this would be a good thing. It was nice because it was actually like a pathway to actually send a message to somebody who was doing something on BrickLink, and so you would hear their reaction to your idea. You get feedback and you would be able to send it up and down.
I really don't think it would be that hard to implement a coupon code section that's separate from the coupons that you and I issue. They need that. I hear the washer. The washer's done.
But yeah, I wonder though. It would be nice to have actually Doc on here, Brick Stackers, or Brick or Treat, because I know he's watching. I'd like to hear Doc talk about that, because I know that Brick Owl has been very fast to respond to questions, complaints, and comments from sellers and buyers on their portal. I actually got a message from a fellow BrickLinker who watches the show. They're from Europa, over in that northern section of town where it's cold, and they were telling me that they had synced up on Brick Owl in February, and basically they had some questions, and they were contacted by the CEO of Brick Owl to help them clarify and stuff like that, because he was looking forward to having more traffic coming over, meaning more people selling their bricks on there. And that's some sort of that's good communication. I mean, I'm not saying that I would expect the CEO to contact or anything, but at least getting feedback. Like if you've, it's not that somebody is somebody, you know, but if you have a large amount of revenue that you are earning for a company and you've got a track record with them, you would at least think that you could get some sort of feedback. You know, you could get that your voice would count for something. Clutch, thoughts?
I'll stop paying attention.
All right. Willett, thoughts?
Yeah, it's every one of us that are selling, we're bringing in revenue for BrickLink, and they should be more than happy to listen to any complaints, ideas that we have for them, because without us, they don't have nothing. And I know I need to start reading the forums more, but
I just got a coupon from Pumpkin Bricks. I don't know what the amount was, but Pumpkin is closing his store. So.
Well, perhaps none of us are bringing in enough revenue for the company to matter. Perhaps, and it would be a good perhaps, but perhaps there's sellers that are bringing in enough that we don't actually matter.
That's why I stopped buying, because even if I wasn't a seller, enough of a seller to be considered one that they would listen to as a seller, I definitely was as a buyer, you know, because there was every single penny that was coming into the store was going back out on BrickLink, and we had just basically surpassed salary in BrickLink. So,
but you know, you look at it. Well, you guys have got pretty big stores going right now, and you keep growing your store. you're going to be one of the bigger sellers on BrickLink. They should be paying attention to that, you know. But I'm
Well,
sure they
I don't know. I don't know if they have anybody who is actually paying attention to metrics at all on.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Think you already
Well,
said
I
it.
don't know.
Make the adjustment.
I'm just not certain that they have anybody who's paying attention to metrics like that on BrickLink. I actually went and did troll them as a company on LinkedIn, where all their employees will go and post their resumes. Even though there is private and stuff like that, as far as names, which I don't care about names, or but I don't care what somebody's name is. But I went and checked their history, their work history, and their degrees and stuff like that. And I didn't see anybody who had any skills in databases or SQL. Oh, that's scary for a company that's sitting on that much information, that they don't have somebody in their staff that's really good at that, who is just sort of steering where things should be going. Doc, thoughts, comments?
I'm late, but I'm here. Sorry.
So this is Brick Stackers. I mentioned to Willett earlier the reason why I wasn't calling him by his first name, and that was a lesson that you had taught me, is because people were looking for a store named Doc.
Yeah.
The Saturday stream, not Brick Stackers. So Nick doesn't have a store. Brick Willett does.
That's right.
But Clutch, once again, the one who defines the opposite of the rule. Everybody knows Clutch is bricks on the dollar, because
He's Clutch. Everyone knows.
Clutch is the godfather. He is the one that started all of this problems for himself.
Huh. He is in an air-conditioned part of the building, it looks like.
I know, man. Look at all the moving up and stuff.
What?
Jefferson's theme should definitely be playing behind you big time.
Actually, the air's on a schedule, and I only realized today that the schedule does not include weekends. The air is not on here.
Go ahead, Justin. Override it.
Godfather.
I'm actually heading out. I'm going to go hang out with the Mad Stacker.
That can't lead to anything good.
Tell him I said hey.
So
what's
I
your
will leave you with Brick
how much longer do we have you?
That's it. I'm going to leave you with Brick Stackers. You got any final questions?
Yeah, what's your favorite part of the new BrickLink, and what's your least favorite part of the new BrickLink?
Favorite part is, I guess, the featured items in your store. I really like that. Least favorite part, I guess the separation between the old style and the new style. Like, there's some pages that are all fancy and new, and then you click one link and you're like back to the old section.
Yeah.
But isn't there a part of you that's glad that the old section's still there, though, because because it still works?
If the catalog main page was completely changed, I would, that in the corner.
Yeah.
Because there's so many links. Like, I've never seen a website that just has so many text links in one cluster, and you like going there and finding the one that's for you.
Yeah, because you actually did use all of them.
Oh, and my other favorite thing is the one-click on full browser. If you click on the My Store button once, it takes you straight to My Orders. If you click on the My BL once, it takes you to your profile. If you click on Shop once, it takes you to the catalog main page. So the one-click.
Yeah, that was an improvement that they rolled out just after June 8th.
So that wasn't with launch, okay.
No, that was a suggestion from the forum that was accepted.
You go onto the Shop tab, it takes you to the old catalog page, and it's just...
So it's just ungodly. It's hard to look at.
But like, I go down, I click on Pending Approval, I go down some more, I click on Sets under Inventory, and I go, oh, what might be inventoried sometime in the near future, maybe.
Did they get their tool yet to approve new elements and sets? Because I know that the admins were active on the forum that they had no tool, and not to yell at them, which was why things weren't being approved yet.
There was a good week where not a thing happened as far as inventorying But then now it's slowly starting to get back into inventorying sets. I'm waiting on 1.5 of the Star Wars sets still from the June 1st release. The Eclipse Fighter and the Star Scavenger. Eclipse is pending, and the Star Scavenger is nothing. And I actually like when sets come out in Europe first, because then they might be inventory by the time we see them here. All the Ninjago and superheroes sets are starting to get inventoried, and we haven't even seen them here yet.
Unless it's a CMF, and then if it's a CMF, then they go by American release date rule. This
Yeah.
stupid rule that they have that.
It's like they're getting mad. Lego get mad at them if they inventory it before the release date.
Even though Lego decided on their own, like grown-ass adults, to release it in Europe first.
Is there a reason why the Ra's al Ghul set came out early? Did Lego just say, "Hey, I know Toys R Us is going to put it out early, so why don't we just put it out a month early? Take that."
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
The people who need it the moment it's available are the people who are paying full price for it. And Lego only really sells at full price, so why not, if you're Lego, put it out early and just get all those guaranteed sales?
Makes sense to me.
Yep. I agree.
But there's a lot of things that Lego does that make absolutely no sense to me, which we can also discuss in future episodes. One that I'd like to talk to Clutch about is a club that he and I are both in on a future episode, which is the Team Blacklisting. But also for you sellers out there, how to avoid getting on Team Blacklisting. You know,
It's not that bad. Come to the dark side. Nothing.
Yeah, it's really not. It's really not.
Worth buying anyway.
You can make one massive giant just take everything haul and then get blacklisted. Yep. Almost all my tiles are sold too. Those black 1x1 lettered tiles.
Is that what you bought?
Oh, I bought so many of those.
Wow, the business card holder.
Yeah,
sold
I went
all
out and
my,
actually had to get. I had to go and clear out a couple of stores of their vowels and numbers. I had to clear out a bunch of stores with their Jeopardy letters.
I sold out of my New York magnet tiles and the New York torsos and the Build a Minifig. I was really happy to sell out of them, and I sold like 1 out of 9 cups of sand green parts from the wall in New York, and it paid for all 9 cups.
Yep.
That was very nice. Like Zany bought like 100 of the telescopes recently, and it cost like 2 cups worth to get 100 of them, and I think there were 700 in the cup. So that's nice. Thank you, Zany.
Wouldn't get me any.
I was getting some serious looks at that store. I actually had to have them restock the cups and lids because they're just.
Nice.
Well, I mean, I only bought like 15 cups total, but they had fewer than that in the sleeve of the dispenser of cups. So I had to get them to go refill the cups. And once they refilled the cups, I was like, oh, and the lids too. So.
Yeah. And people at home could be like, well, you could just go in there and be like, oh, well, I work for, Brickfest Live, so we need it there, and lie, but you don't, and you won't, and that's good.
I like giving them the truth in such a way that they don't believe me, but I don't feel bad because I told them the truth.
Such as, example, state it.
I'll be at a Walmart and I'll buy more than your average amount of Lego, and they'll say like, are you a real big Lego fan, or the classic, are you gonna build the same thing but 10 times bigger because you got 10 of them, because that's how multiplication works, or like, are you having a party or something? And I'll just straight face tell them, no, I'm gonna sell all of this, and that they don't really have a response often, but they don't believe me.
Like, no, you're the person who I just judged you as. It's always gonna be 10 times the size, especially by the the square cube law.
Yeah, yeah. Clearly, if I buy like 100 poly bags of a helicopter, I'm gonna make a helicopter the same
Oh, it'll be fully
proportion
functional.
and 100
Fully
times
functional
larger.
helicopter.
We'll see how all the bags goes. I don't know. It's kind of been downhill since we started.
When's the next all the bags coming?
Uh, November 1st.
It's a long, dry summer for poly bags.
Yeah, there's 4 that are kind of evenly spaced, and then there's a long period in between them. We're gonna be in Florida just afterwards, so it looks like we'll be doing all the bags and then immediately leaving for Florida.
And doing all the bags what's left of Florida.
Perhaps, yeah. Last year, 2 years ago, when I was in Florida for the show, that was right when the first Target Cube was coming out, and we got a whole bunch of them. I still have a bunch of them.
Actually sold all my first gens. I think I sold. They went to like Singapore or something. Before this whole USPS raising of international shipping prices on packages, but not touching prices on envelopes and scaring the bejesus out of everybody in the rest of the world to the point
You
where
guys, man, I'm still shipping to like Australia for under $4.
yeah, so am I. I don't get it. Like I can ship almost any place for under like $4 or $5 still.
Must be
Sometimes it's cheaper to ship out of country than it is in country. Like I can probably ship to Canada for like $2-3.
Yeah, you got to keep spreading the fear that the postal rates went up and they're crazy and you can't ship international and it's a fool's game to play. Keep spreading that fear. Meanwhile, we'll keep shipping internationally for like $4 or less.
Yeah, but the problem is when people see those videos about the price, they think that's what everybody's price is. And if you go in and you read the rules for how you're allowed to ship stuff as an envelope, you can do it. You know, it ain't that hard. It just can't be like all stiff, and it can't be round, and you know it's got to have a gentle slope.
You know,
No
for me,
more than a quarter of an inch over the vast spacing of the envelope.
you know, for me, unless it's a box, I ship at that cheap rate. I've shipped like full on like priority bubble flat rates that are like this. Well, I guess not that because that's priority, but bubble mailers like that are full log status. I've shipped them that cheap rate. I've only ever had one package come back to me.
But technically, that is still a square shape because you're looking at it in two-dimensional, and it only has to be square in one direction because it doesn't say that it says round. Round is 2 dimensions.
Yeah, so unless it's a box, it's going that cheap rate, and I'm constantly issuing refunds because I'll invoice for like $8, $13, something like that, and then I'll wind up giving them most of that back after I actually ship it.
Yeah, anything if I over do that by anything more than a couple of bucks, it goes back.
Well, the way I always try to check the price, I said I got 2 PayPal accounts. I send one to the business account, then I
can't hear him.
the price.
I can hear shit.
Uh,
He's basically got to shove that thing in his mouth to talk.
Well, I noticed on your haul video this afternoon too, I could barely hear it.
His mic.
yeah, I need to get a new mic picked up, guys. Sorry about it.
Yeah.
Heard that perfectly.
Yeah, that one was good.
Yeah, do that thumb thing.
All right. But the way I usually try price out for international shipping, I send money through my second PayPal account to my other one where I can get the accurate price for it. Then I just invoice them that way. But I prefer them to just ask for a quote.
Yeah, I did that. I did that through PayPal already. So I went in with each of the weights, and here's a little tip or trick for somebody at home who wants to build their own custom shipping table. You can go and ship to anyone and change the country and the address, and then get it to an international rate, and then go and do all your price selections and see how much the stuff will cost to ship it to them, and then store that over on BrickLink on a shipping table, and then switch to the next region of the countries, because there's like 13 different regions for shipping rates, and BrickLink actually did have all that. That was really great development work that they did with that, with the shipping table. I'm very happy with the shipping table work that they did.
I stopped
way
using
before
mine.
the rollout.
I stopped using my shipping table. I never actually fully got it to where I needed it to be. I use it a little bit, but I mean, the international ones are always cheaper than whatever I say. It doesn't really matter what I put in there. And I've been thinking about moving to a flat rate for shipping domestically, because I offer free shipping domestically on orders that are $40 or more. And a good amount of people take that up, but not everyone does. And I've been thinking, because I'm losing a lot of money on shipping by offering free shipping to those who spend over 40. So like my shipping charge and shipping spent is really negative, which it should be with, you know, offering free shipping at times. It's offset by being larger orders. But I'm thinking about increasing my shipping costs for those who don't spend 40 to like $5 flat. Like, doesn't matter what you're buying. If it's under 40 bucks, the shipping is $5, because that is gonna start getting me closer to even.
Now, did you lower your minimum buy as well?
No, minimum buy is 15.
I recently did a change from 25 to 10 with the with BrickLink 2.0, just trying out the different metrics to see the ebbs and flows of buying.
There's not much for me to experiment on right now. July is the worst month of the year.
Yeah. Brick Takers, thoughts, comments on that? What Clutch just said. Go.
What, July being the suckiest month of the year? I agree.
Yes.
It's horrible.
Wow, that was elaborate. All right, will it go?
Cut prices and get the sales keep coming in.
He just said it's
Yep.
keep coming in. Is that what he said?
I cut on some stuff.
He said cut prices and the sales keep coming in. Is that what you said?
Yeah, like
Screw
right
that.
now
My
I'm
time's
selling
worth more
about,
than that.
selling about 15% under average just to keep the sales coming through.
Yeah, you gotta be profitable there.
Keep doing that. Keep
I
doing that.
don't know. I don't know how any of you guys.
I'll keep going to stores and buying things from people that brought them down to like, oh, I'm just gonna try this at 80% off to see if it sells.
Oh. No,
I don't know
This
if
has
any
only
of you
been
guys
on
who-
one set.
I don't know if any of you guys can really badmouth price slashing if you don't have like employees and rent to pay on a weekly and monthly basis.
Oh I'm not bad mouthing. I'm bad mouthing the over slicing of pricing.
I might not be able to discount prices too much. I have way too many expenses right now.
Yeah, you got overhead. It becomes a point though to where you spend so much time, 4 or 5 hours a night packing orders. I've got to be able to look at it and say this is worth it, you know. Family of 4, working a full-time job. I mean, if I cut prices too much and I look down, I'm getting a bunch of $7, $8 orders, and now I've cut that by 30, 40%, and they're tiny orders with huge lots. I'm not gonna continue because I've got to make this worth me getting out here and being away from my family, you know.
Put a $15 minimum buy on there. You can't have it that low.
You can't have $6, $7 orders, man. You ain't a hobby seller. Nothing wrong with hobby selling. Nothing wrong with hobby selling, but if you're hobby selling, you don't take your time into consideration and you don't value yourself. I'm not saying psychologically you don't value yourself. I'm saying
Value myself?
with your accounting shit. You know what I mean? People make the worst.
Dang, is Willet drinking a 40-ounce over there? What you got over there, Willet?
Oh,
You get the 40 up? Hold that 40 up.
let's see. Monster?
That's a monster. Okay. That's bigger than my head. Good gosh, that's huge, man. It's like my arm.
Shit.
You're going to be bouncing off that trailer
Energy
wall.
to keep going.
Going to be parking out all night long.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go hang out with the Mad Stacker. I'll see you later.
See you later.
Tell Stacker and Lady Stacker I said hey.
Will do. I don't know if she's home. I think she works weekends now. I don't know. But if I see her, I'll tell her.
Be dangerous. Tell Stacker I want more Fallout videos.
He said, come over, let's stream something. So I don't know what we're doing, but I'm going to ride my bike over there and do that.
Live Fallout. Oh, by the way, got it. Thank you, Clutch. We'll be doing a video with the kids and letting people know that we got those and we were able to get those at $12 each. So thank you.
Yeah, I mean, we might set up a store online eventually to sell old shirts, but right now I'm just shipping out like, hey, I was missing this, or hey, this was broken, or hey, I need an extra shark. Give me another shark. It's great. I've got like all the August stuff is here. Some of the September stuff is already ordered. Getting ahead of the schedule.
I want another shark.
I got a whole box of sharks over there.
All right, I'll get with you.
I mean, like 300 sharks, maybe.
All right, have fun, man.
All right, see you
Thanks
guys
for
later.
hopping on.
See ya.
That was a Clutch from Bricks on the Dollar. For those of you that don't know, I know the comments section will not be here afterwards. So a lot of people have been talking in the comments section about Clutch, stuff he's got going on. He's always got something going on. He's basically the one. He is the one that got all of us involved. So always big thanks to him. Great guy, and it's good to have him as a friend.
Friends.
How many of us have them?
Well, is it cold up there where you're at? It's like 108 here where I'm at. You're like wearing a toboggan. What's it feel like up in Washington? Syracuse.
Me?
Yeah, what's the temperature like up there?
Oh, it was like 70 today, maybe.
Gotta go somewhere cooler.
I didn't even think about that. So that's why your head's shining.
Hair shank is glistening with sweat. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very hot.
I forgot about how warm it is in the rest of the country during the summertime. I'm spoiled by this, man. We don't get snow in the winter, and we don't really get the obscene heat until mid-August.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel better, we are going through a drought. It's 70 and clear blue skies.
Yeah, like
We're not getting rained on.
we cooled it off for a little while. It's pretty bad. Well,
Trying to read what Ralph was writing. Ralph said, "Now I feel bad for buying from people keeping near their minimum buy." Oh, so hey, do you want to talk about minimum buys, Doc? Brick stackers?
well, you know, whatever. Don't matter.
Well, reasons why people have a minimum buy.
Well, right now I got mine at $5 because I'm not gonna waste my time pulling an order for $2. Again, it comes down to my time being more. I value my time more than walking around pulling 18 pieces for $1.50. But that's the only reason you do it. You try to make the sale worth your freaking time because it takes so long to pull an order. When I got started and I was doing a lot of smaller orders, I didn't think nothing of it. But then when I started getting the huge orders, yeah, most of the huge orders pay very good, but God, you could take hours packing and sorting and pulling. I mean, it's just, and then shipping. So yeah, it's different folks have different levels, and some of the bigger stores have $15, $20 minimums, and then when you get started, most people will say, I'm not going to have a minimum buy because I'll take any sale, and then you get to a certain point, you just can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But
It's not that you don't want the sale. It's just that if you start taking in all of the sales for like $2, $3, $4, $5, you get so many sales that you can't handle the ones that are for, larger amounts or larger dollar, and you sort of I use the minimum buy as sort of like a bobber for what rate I'm taking orders in, and then during the more busy times of the year it'll go up to sort of limit that, because it's like you two guys, we're just one-man operations.
yeah.
So
I mean, if you got somebody that's bought a used set and they're wanting just to get the missing pieces, and they order 30 small individual pieces, 30 lots, one piece per lot,
Oh.
literally that could be a $4 order, $3 order. And that's 30 drawers I've got to go walk to, pull, and then figure out how I'm going to bag it. Of course, it's not going to be a big package to ship out, but still, it doesn't matter on the shipping because I'm not in it and making money on shipping. My thing is just freaking walking to 30 different drawers, pulling, and trying to make a profit on it.
Yeah. So a while back, actually, No More Bricks had placed an order in Cool Kid Bricks' store for 10 cents.
I saw that.
Yeah, and then was willing to pay the $2.45 shipping on it, but yeah, Cool Kid Bricks canceled that order, and then put No More Bricks on the stop list.
I see Cool Kids is right though. He makes a point. After he pays the fee,
that was a joke, by the way, for people watching this later on. Like, we know these people we're talking about, and we're using them for examples of things that they're not doing.
Cool Kids has got after the fees and the cost of packaging, he goes, I lost money on the sale. Because you got to think that if you're trying to help a friend out and you're just charging flat out shipping, envelope costs you 15 to 20 cents, tape, printer toner, and label.
At least that much for an envelope.
Exactly.
I mean, you're talking that for the little,
the little ones.
The triple aughts. The triple aughts are like 10, 15 cents minimum, and that's if you're buying 500 or more at a time.
Yep.
So
and that's what a lot of
just trying to put it in perspective. That's all. Keep going.
No, I mean that's it. I mean you just take in shipping the poly bags and everything else. I mean you're making pennies, if not losing them.
Yeah. Plus, you've got to take into consideration that not only that, but you also have, well, I don't have ink, so I've gotten rid of the ink cost, but to replace ink, I print on a thermal label. You got labels that get paid for. You got the label maker itself.
Yep.
Although we just recently learned from TMX Brick Nooks that is deductible, and you do all this other kinds of stuff. So watch the other streams about that one. But there's a lot of other. There's the storage for said envelopes. There's just a million factors that go into it, and that's why a lot of sellers do not charge what they get charged on PayPal or Stamps.com or any of those other websites for the shipping. They charge what the post office charges at the desk, and that's because the difference between the two sort of helps, it pays for all of those other logistical type things that go into shipping of the items.
Yep. That's right.
Cool Kids is saying he pays $22 just for the black ink cartridge. So it's not like $1 or $2 like people may think. It's technology and costs way too much. Willett, thoughts, ideas? Let's hear them.
Everything I buy in bulk. I buy aftermarket ink. I pay like $10 for my ink that I get. I use XP.
Closer to your face, man. Closer to your face.
All right, better.
Scream at it.
Yeah, you really do have to speak up. You're gonna watch this later, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, he really wasn't messing with me."
I don't think you're messing with me, but no, everything I try buy in bulk. Try to save as much money as I can that way. The ink I buy is aftermarket. And then the minimum buys you really just you gotta save your time, and I got some few things in the works right now, and I'm probably going to be raising my minimum buy up again.
I got a question for y'all.
Just making a comment in real quick. Ralph had commented, but you can get a lot of prints out of a cartridge of ink. And do you know how many prints you can get out of that? And I was saying, well, the manufacturer will tell you how many prints you can get out of a cartridge of ink, but when they do their tests for how many prints you get out of it, it's not necessarily the same amount of percentage of printed area. It also does not take into effect time. And if you have a water based ink system, which a lot of people do with the little cartridges because they're not using a dry or wax ink system, there's evaporation. And even though that's a sealed thing, there's still evaporation still happens. So you lose out on pages and pages and pages, and also wear and tear on the actual print head of the printer from that dry ink stuff. So, keep going.
I was going to ask you on
Okay.
Brick Stock Store, whatever it is. All right. Have you been able to import orders, current orders that you're placing, like carts on them?
Shopping carts no longer import to BrickStock, and I've played around with the two numbers that are in the URL, and they don't relate anywhere to the old URL. So.
Okay, I was trying it too, and I couldn't figure it out.
Have you tried writing the author?
No.
Did you buy BrickStock?
No, I'm free.
Oh, man, I should have bought BrickStock before this went down. I would have actually had a voice.
Hey, what is this brick seller crap they're trying to push?
I haven't even looked at the videos, to be perfectly honest. I mean,
it looks like a waste of. It's like what BrickLink already does, but they want you to pay for it.
Yes, kind of, sort of.
It's horrible. I watched the videos while I was working in here, and I mean, I half listened to it, but it was horrible. I couldn't see anybody paying money for it. I just don't see it. You know, didn't know if anybody else had used it, played around with it.
Do you have any bad experiences, Willett?
Not really. I've had real good luck here so far. I've only had one order get lost through the mail. Only complaint that I've got was my shipping was too high. I shipped in priority for him. It was like £2 for the package. Charged him what I got charged for priority shipping, and he just left me neutral feedback. But
sometimes you can contact a buyer who does that and actually send them the link to USPS and tell them, you know, like, this is how I had to legally ship this to you. And you know, it's usually just somebody being mad for a short amount of time and being reactionary and leaving feedback, and sometimes they'll come back and change that. And you know, I actually had a recent case where I had somebody who ordered something from me. I sent it to them. I sent them too many of them. They insisted on returning it to me, and then like the 7th time, maybe I'm exaggerating, it could have been the 5th time, me explaining to them how to print out the return shipping label, I finally just said, never mind, I can't explain the internet to you. You know, please just feel free to keep them. And I got a neutral feedback that I was rude. But I think you know, I should have been nicer and maybe, you know, not said I can't explain the internet until maybe the 9th or 10th time. But
should have been happy getting just free extra, you know.
No, I mean, I can understand they were they came across as being very religious type. And maybe they felt as though they were stealing, and I mean, I'm not going to judge somebody for that. That's not my job, you know. And they wanted to return them, so I mean, even though it was costing me money for them to ship it back to me, more than the value of the Lego at all, I still wanted to have somebody who was happy, and I was willing to do that. And then they just didn't understand, like, how to print something, how to go and click on the photo so they could print it. It was terrible. It was fun. It was fun to sit there and just like shake your head and then try to help, but sometimes you just can't explain the internet to people. You get called rude.
No.
So, Cheap's hopping in the crowd. Don't forget, guys, and in a half an hour, the LEGO Community Saturday stream begins over on TMX's channel. We are definitely going to be stopping before that. We only really run like an hour and 15 minutes. That's about it. So we'll get in our our last little bits here. Anything you guys want to touch upon?
Not really. I mean, I've just been farting away like crazy up in here. Some odd and crap. Still trying to clean up the onesies.
Yeah.
That's about it for me.
I just added 5,000 1x1 white tiles to the store.
1x1s?
1x1s.
Fine. That's nice.
And like 5 or 10,000 1x1 plates, including orange and red. I think it's including orange, but if not, orange will be here soon. And I'm working on light flesh.
Well, that'd be cool.
I'm working on basically a giant mosaic as
Yeah.
part of the my part of the collaboration for the Fallout Philly Brickfest collaborative mock team go. You guys didn't see it, but everybody who's on the team raised their hand and went and did that. So.
Oh.
Will it? Go ahead, give us your spiel, man. Hold it close to your face so people can hear you, though.
Well, just keep watching the store. I got some big orders coming in here pretty soon. I'm going to just be busy doing some part outs. You'll be seeing them coming up in my recent or future Lego hauls. And just
You have any plans? You have something going sometime in the near future for sig figs too, right?
yes, actually the order I placed from you is lost in the mail. I just opened up a claim on it,
Oh, I didn't know that.
but it's not on you. I didn't pay insurance for it, so not worried.
Why didn't you tell me that?
I gave it some time and just opened up the claim now, so.
All right.
But
We'll figure something out.
You got enough going on. I'm not gonna sit and bother you with it when I can do it myself.
Yeah, but we can figure it out.
But I can show you one of the figs that I got set up for the. I'm going to be doing 2 different sig figs. I want to do one for the castle area since I'm a castle builder. Let's see. That's going to be.
So your castle guy's got hair.
Yeah. So that's what that's going to be.
No mohawk for your castle guy.
No, they didn't have mohawks back in the old days, so then
Their helmets covered them up.
Yeah. Now, here's a question for you. Since you got black hair, when Mr. T rolls out, and you get that new sort of laying down mohawk of Mr. T's, because your mohawk sort of lays down too. Are you gonna swap hair?
I'd have to see it to see what it looks like. I haven't seen the new Mr. T out yet.
It literally looks like a tile, but it's a little bit more forward on the front.
Oh, that'd be a perfect piece because it's hard to find a hair piece like mine. I've been looking through.
Yeah. All right. So that's it. That's all we've got. Make sure you check out everybody's store who was here. Give them a little bit of love. But this is Brick Willet. You can reach him at brickwillet.com. This is
go to brickstackers.com and it'll take you to a front page. You pick where you want to go from there. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I'm Big B Bricks, and you can reach me on bigbbricks.com. And coming in the very new future, I will be joining the Brick Owl community. I let everybody in basically the sellers crew know, but I was contacted by somebody from Denmark who is willing to do a walkthrough with us of how exactly to do that syncing. So I will put it up to the panel with our internal discussion as to what, when, and how, and if we will air that, or if that will be a private stream. but we also want to make sure we hear from you guys. So please post your comments down below. If you had something that we did not answer during the show today and you were part of the live audience, I sincerely apologize. Please make it a point to ask that question again in the video after it airs, and we will make it a point to answer it during the next episode. Thank all of you who joined us on Saturday this week. We will be back on Sunday at our regularly scheduled time, half an hour after Haulin' and Ballin'. And we will try to continue following that schedule as much as possible. I have family obligations tomorrow, and we weren't able to do that then. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and thank you all for joining. I'm Big B, Brick Willet, and Brick Stackers, and thanks again to Clutch for Bricks on the Dollar. See y'all later.